Any good attack default in Valorant needs balance. We have some players holding passive for information, some players to take deep space, and maybe some Sentinel util to get passive information against pushes. Always balanced. But how do you default with 2 Sentinels? Surely you just can't take any space. Well, T1's Pearl default makes a Chamber and Killjoy duo look like killing machines, and the stats speak for themselves. With a Killjoy and a Chamber, T1 have made themselves the biggest contender for the world's best Pearl team. But how do you reconcile a double Sentinel setup with T1's aggressive style to get good info around the map? This video is all about T1's most common defaults and how they turn this comp into a map control nightmare for their opponents. So what kind of comp do you build around this duo? For T1, we've got flashes with our Sky and a Neon for consistent crosshair displacement, so the comp is geared a lot around the mid-round contact play to clear. Let's say T1 take A main and their turret in mid gets broken. In that case, we know where the defense has moved to counter that information and can respond accordingly. It's this push and pull we want to be paying attention to. First, let's think about the Chamber on attack here. In a team with a Killjoy, he doesn't really want to lurk. She's already doing that. But he needs to find his way onto deep lines to put pressure on the defense, especially when he's opping. That's what this first default is all about, inserting the Chamber. On Pearl, A and B main are your most important sources of pressure as the attack. Hitting through the tiny choke points in Art and Alley is really difficult and very easy for the defense to stall. But on the extremities, you get a lot of different places to hide, which makes contact re-clear difficult as the defense. All of this is the basis behind this first default. Threaten extremity space, set up contact play in mid, and throw off rotations to hit. But how does it look in a round? We're going to start with T1's 1-1-3. The basic conditioning behind this type of round is that we can set up the Chamber in A main. This round against DFM is a great initial example. Here we have T1 on an eco round. Since the guns aren't great, they want to play together for the trades. We're looking to take A main, put pressure on May's operator, and clear B to look for an exec option. DFM have big ults coming in here, so as T1, we're just looking to bait those out and get closer to Stax' ult for the big rifle round next round. T1 lead with an A main clear. This is their standard clear for this space to get initial pressure. A recall on the main box so Buzz can safely sprint around, and a stun and flash to stop anyone setting up on this deep line. This both nullifies Cez's early salvo and sets up a potential double swing here, so DFM won't feel safe playing deep anymore. Stax gets the orb, so he's 1 out from his ult, so if he dies this round, there's a Sky ult in the rifle round. Meanwhile, Meteor set up a turret in mid to guard for any aggro in response, and Munchkin's holding for a push in B main too. Right here, T1 make a very important decision. They leave Izu inserted at A. This might seem a little strange. Surely we want to stay grouped in the eco for the trades, right? But leaving Izu here maintains their pressure. If the whole team resets, Akame can dart A main and give them full info that it's clear. But if Izu's here, he can break the dart and suddenly DFM don't know if there's 1 player here or 4. A main is important for this because Sovas and Tejos default A all the time. The Chamber is also great for this because if the defense contact in, he can just get a pick and TP out. With Izu happy in main, DFM try to re-clear and find some info. Cez's drone finds Meteor in mid, and Izu breaks the dart in A main. If you're DFM here, you're thinking things look a lot like an A split, and their rotations go to show it. To ante the potential op, Munchkin sets up 2 recall stars for Buzz to sprint and clear B main. The first recall empowers him sprinting to pillar, and the second one cuts out the site player during that clear. Coast's clear, so it turns into an exec. Buzz's fast lane sets him up to take back site, and the Bucky kill on Yotska opens things up. It's only now that Izu takes his timing at A to catch a rotator, but May puts him down. That's no problem for the rest of the team though. With an open site and rifles to claim, T1 win out against the retake using Buzz's ult.
Stability. Pops overdrive as a bit of a warning sign. Could potentially just beam through the smokes. He won't go in back. Back balls and dives on top of the spike.
It's a nice easy eco win to stimulate the economy, and they pulled Akame Sova ult to boot. The way T1 control the flow of this round is exactly what this default is all about. Towards the end of the round, we saw the potential in having the Chamber inserted in main. Yes, he breaks the reclear and can get a safe pick if he's pushed, but he's also set up to find great timing on rotators. Notice that he pushes as Buzz hits the B site. This is to catch a rotator moving in reaction. Even in dying here, he held an extra player on A just a little longer, giving T1 extra time to exec, plant, and set up a nice post plant. In those big rifle rounds, think about the conditioning here too. A chamber sitting here with an op is terrifying. Suddenly your backside player can't even jump spot or peek for info. This is what necessitates all of that reclear util. There's even more going on here though. Let's rewind a little to after T1 took A main. Like we said, DFM rotated to prep for an A split, so B main was less guarded when Buzz came to clear. Mei actually started this round on B, but the op was on A when T1 hit. Better yet, DFM don't have a chamber or Yoru that can sit on these deep off angles for a long time. If Mei used his refract early, it's long gone by now, so all T1 have to worry about is a player sitting here or here, which the double recall and sprint combo dismantles easily. This is exactly what I mean when I say A main and B main are your most important sources of pressure as the attack. All Meteor had to do in mid was find some easy timing with his turret and get found by a drone, and the double pressure pushed DFM into all of these awkward rotations. The conditioning behind this 1-1-3 sets up the defense to fear the chamber insert at A. If the chamber is here, your big options as the defense are either to fast reclear the A space or push mid to keep the fast rotations. But T1 have a plan for this too. Check out this round against RRQ. We have the same basic plan here. Take A main space, turret window, and the Astra can hold for the push B main. In this instance, RRQ have op money, and they have a chamber, so the big fear for T1 is a deep op sitting in B main in the mid round. Munchkin's playing those same stars we saw last round for the A take, and a reactive Sun here to help cover Meteor's turret. We start with the same Astra and Sky util to set up Buzz in main. He jump spots around main box and Jumpkin fires in TPs. This movement is amazing. Since Stax is blind tagged and Munchkin's util stops anyone setting up on this line, the Neon jump spot is perfect to scout deeper angles and pressure players away. That's the op found, and Munchkin opportunistically takes all of B main for it. Meteor and Izu look to counter any mid reclear while the team rotates into Munchkin, and RRQ walk right into their crosshairs.
Oh no, but with the flash as well, boom goes the dynamite. It's gonna be Xpharaoh now, just trying to fan out alongside Monyet, but what is this?
By this point in the half, RRQ have seen T1's 1-1-3 before, and they know how they play their timings. T1 covered their adaptation well by setting Meteor and Izu up in positions to punish a big push for the turret, and Buzz and Stax did well to trade into the fight in mid. Even if we just pay attention to these two lanes on the map, keeping chamber moving between these two positions makes it incredibly difficult to play contact reclear as the defense. We haven't really covered the Sky in all this yet. Sky's blind gives the team info if it tags on any player, so it's good for scouting for players holding certain lines. It's also, you know, a flashbang. Combining this with the Neon and Astra util makes for some incredibly thorough clears, and this can add an extra layer to the conditioning as well. In this anti-eco against Varel, we see the kind of power that this has. As we can see, we're still in our basic 1-1-3, but now Stax is at B, and Munchkin's default stars are with him too. As Varel, this definitely looks like a B default, but Stax is actually alone. Watch how this plays out. Munchkin uses his stars to clear B, but this time it's a full smoke in front B rather than a recall. Combined with Stax's Hawk, this confirms no player around Pillar. Once Stax has scouted this jump up spot, T1 have generated a perfect question mark at B. Meanwhile, the team are slowly contacting at A to create some more pressure. They trigger the turret and fake a hit. By this point, T1 have developed double extremity pressure. By using the Sky Flash, Recall Star, and Full Smoke in B main, T1 discerned there are no players around Pillar, and Stax has been holding to scout for reclear ever since. With Klaus's turret broken, Varel have no means of telling where the hit will be, so it's easy for Stax to fake B with his dog and enable the team to contact in while Izu holds spawn with his op. From there, it's just holding and shooting. This kind of double extremity approach is strong with the double Sentinel because mid information comes so easily with the Killjoy turret, and Chamber can sit on one line all on his own. Even against rifles, we can imagine playing our Sky to set up the Chamber at B and our Neon to scout A main with her sprint. This is the kind of value the Chamber can add when you have other passive information tools at your disposal. The best part is, even if Chamber leaves B main, it's still terrifying to reclear him unless the defense's recon player rotates all the way out from A. So the 1-1-3 has a lot of potential as a conditioning tool, but wait till you see the 3-1-1. This is where T1 abused the Chamber strength in the long sightline of B main. We can see this clearly in this round against Varel. In this round, the goal is to take control of B main and have Meteor and Munchkin scout for any counter clearance on their respective lanes. We lead with a recall and full smoke in B main and Meteor's standard turret for mid. LP's knife tags on Chamber and Sky, and he's heard Buzz sprinting, so Varel know T1 are leaning this side. In response, Varel have set up GlitchxCity in A main so they have good space to counter. To make sure T1 are definitely looking to hit B, Zuna throws an eye for deep A main. It doesn't tag. So 3 players are confirmed to have been at B, and Varel have no way to reclear and check if they're still there, and Zuna has prowled mid and eyed A main and found no one either time. GlitchxCity even has deep A space. Surely then, it's a B hit. Varel rotate to prepare, and Klaus keeps his KJ util active to scout for any movement in mid. Too bad for them, Meteor's already recleared mid under the confidence of his turret, and T1 are now setting up an A split into a near open site. T1 used the Neon Sprint to clear the weakened A main space, and from there can quickly crunch R to guarantee good control for their post plant. Again, we can see the kind of value that comes out of having good control on one of the extremities and good movement in mid. With B, things work a little differently because it's so hard to get information back once front B is smoked. When Varel had no knife or eye, T1 had all they needed to set up a clean A split. It's especially easy for T1 in these kinds of formations when the defense don't break Meteor's turret. Meteor was easily able to reclaim that mid space because the turret confirmed no deep lines had been taken. This is functionally the same as the DFM round we saw at first. Take one extremity, weaken the hold on the other side of the map, and use the Neon Sprint to clear that space and convert into an exec. Meteor did well in this round not to over aggro and let the team take their easy rotation. All he had to do was set up the exec by holding down that mid space. Again, the Chamber is a big source of conditioning in these kinds of rounds. Against eco rounds, it's easy to send Chamber elsewhere to farm kills when the defense reacts to that initial pressure. In this round against DFM, T1 led B with their main force but left Izu to hold A main and farm frags with the Outlaw. Even if Izu dies and gives up an Outlaw, the rest of the team have heavy shields, so it's hard for the defense to convert a big thrifty with it. This is why they use Izu as that human drone to scout A main. Once T1 have good B info and Izu has been pushed off in A main, look at how Munchkin holds this B main control and the rest of the team reclear to make a decision. The kills fall neatly into their laps as DFM struggle to get a hold on the round. Sprinkled in with some set plays to use their bigger ults, these defaults are what make T1's Pearl so ironclad. With a map this strong in their pool, T1 are looking like one of the best teams in APAC in this meta. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I wish you a lovely day.